Hello. Well, I guess we have no other option.
In the dark of midnight, I sit stuck upright. With cotton mouth, I can use a sip. As the shadows stare back, a voice calls out to me. Turn a light out in the street. Remind me of your perfume. Smells just like green velvet. Let me feel your touch once more. I wanna see you again. 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 And I know you don't think it's very likely, and I know you might not want me there. Now I hope you see how far I've come. I hope I can go forth and not be scared. It seems everyone has eyes for you. It seems that you never really cared, but I think I've got something that they just don't have. I wanna see you again. I'm a pretty princess.
Oh my goodness, we are absolutely so back. It is We Are So Back season for the SimStation Internet Football Podcast. It has been about a month since our last episode because it turns out people really busy. And Reeves and I have basically opposite schedules, so it's really hard to record.
We have two people with opposite schedules and two people that don't give a fuck to care very deeply.
Yeah. Okay, anyways, welcome to episode. I don't know what episode we're on. I'll put it in the title.
69.
Yeah, episode 69.
69,
The
dude.
SimStation Internet Football Podcast. I'm here with Reeves, obviously.
Thanks for having me, Travis. I told you before that I haven't eaten since like 1:30 today, and I've been working all day, and I just got home and I grabbed a Celsius, and I'm a little delulu right now.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Look, Celsius, if you want, this is a moneymaker right here. So yeah, okay. Fantasy's fucking crazy right now. For the second season in a row, it's just a giant clusterfuck in the middle. One team sitting at 5-2.
That
somehow.
doesn't deserve to be there.
And then one team sitting at 2-5 with the highest points against by a fucking huge margin.
That also doesn't deserve to be there.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And then everyone else just thrown in the middle.
Just a huge gay dog pile.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
You know what? It's whatever sexuality of dog pile you want it to be.
Gay. I want it to be gay. I want it to be like that South Park episode when the time immigrants come from the future, and they come back and they're turking their gerbs, and all the rednecks take their clothes off and have a gay dog pile because they're trying to prevent the future by becoming gay.
See, I'm so not ingrained in South Park that I'm just like, what the fuck are you saying?
It's so funny. It's so they took a gerb. They took a gerb.
All right, we're gonna get away from that. It's been several weeks since we recorded. The last podcast was actually Reeves and Benglewood watching the Jags get slaughtered on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, that sucked.
That was an unfortunate one. However, we have been keeping up with our pick'ems. Last time we checked, Reeves had been pretty much dominating with Wyatt holding up the rear. And since then, we've kind of all evened out a lot, thanks to two pretty bad weeks from Reeves. Currently, the standings, I'm at 25 wins, Alex is at 24, Reeves is at 23, and Alec is at 22. So we're all still in this race.
I kind of just randomly threw in my picks last week. I feel like in previous weeks I actually tried to think about it a little more, and Yeah, I just like looked back this week, and apparently I went 1-5 both of the last 2 weeks.
It was a little tough. I won't lie. But it is, things happen. Just like other Alex is talking about in the Pick'ems thread right now. Also, full disclaimer for this episode: we are recording during Thursday Night Football. The scores will be up as we look at the matchups, but we made all of our picks before the scores were up, and I will, we'll try to avoid commenting on them as much as possible on what's going on right now because you never know. I can point out that Justin Jefferson has 10 points in the first quarter,
or that Cooper Kupp still has 0. What? Trade him.
Yeah, I mean, what? Okay, so I guess we're not doing like week by week, but what has stood out to you over the last few weeks about our fantasy league? Is there any team that you think is like really noteworthy? Any trend you're noticing?
I don't want to be that guy. I really like my team. I want to talk about other teams, but honestly, I really like my team. So I don't want to talk about it too much, but I'm just going to say I like my team and leave it at that because I think my team
I mean, it's a pretty fair assertion when you're number one in scoring, right? Like,
yeah, and it's not like my team is getting worse necessarily. Like, I think it'll... I mean, I got Tyreek, so it could either, like, stay the same. I don't know if it's going to drop. I know I'm going to lose Jordan Mason soon, but pretty decent right now. Yeah. So, I don't want to like talk about myself too much, but I really like my team. I like my team I'm starting to like my team in the range of where I liked it last year. I'm hoping I can finish strong, ooh woo, but I like it. For other teams that I like, honestly, I think Wyatt's team is so much better than 2-5. Like Wyatt, I know he's made some mistakes, but and I gotta believe that because it's so much better, he's gonna at least make a push for playoffs because he's got a chance. But I'm looking at this team, and I don't know if this is the most complete team in the league, but at least top to bottom without buys and injuries, this is a really solid team, and I think it's good.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's pretty easy to say Wyatt's team is not as bad as 2-5. I mean, he's had one opponent score 96 this year, and I think the other two opponents below 110. Since week 4, his lowest opponent is 113.
Yeah.
He's gotten absolutely fucked by the schedule. I think it's pretty fair to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I agree. It's not like a perfect team either, but it's definitely like, how the fuck is this team in last place?
It's getting better though, right? Where like it was actually kind of a bad team earlier on, and now it's like, okay, he's fixing his running back issues because of Rico Dowdle, and AJ Brown is back, and because AJ Brown's back, like Jalen Hurts is going to start playing better, and he kind of has a tight end that could work. So like he's BTJ is popping off, and he's probably only going to get better as the season goes on. So like he's fixing his issues, where even though there's a lot of these other teams that have a better record, are through injuries and buys and other issues, are actually like falling apart. Where I feel like I could make a case that Wyatt's team was better than a lot of the league in this week.
Yeah, I mean, I think the two guys, I think Dowdle helping the running back room, assuming the Cowboys don't cowboy again. Like, how did he only get 5 carries in their last game? No one knows. And then Brian Thomas being not just a good flex player, but like a real like wide receiver too.
Yeah.
I'd
rather have BTJ maybe. Like, he's in a similar range as Terry McLaurin, I think. And even though he's like Terry McLaurin's like, he's playing him in that wide receiver 2 spot, I don't know, I kind of prefer BTJ right now, especially with Jaden Daniels hurt, but yeah. What is going on in the background?
The fire truck, I'm so sorry, because I know it's coming through my mic.
Shobosha?
Yeah, there's the loudest fucking Shobosha, because This streak is backs up. And they're like, okay, I'm just going to lay on the fucking horn until the cars move.
I mean, that is how a fire truck works, Travis. That is its primary function.
But yeah, no, I agree. I think Brian Thomas is probably his number 2 receiver, especially without Jaden Daniels, because who knows how Terry McLaurin's going to look with Marcus Mariota. He was decent last week, but against Carolina, you never know if that's like a real result or...
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, having A.J. Brown actually present is pretty big.
Yep. What about you, Travi? What do you think? What are the teams that you're like, man, this team is fucking G-U-D?
You know, my power rankings number 1 team was Becca. And,
yep.
I mean, obviously she's been hurt by injuries, primarily Christian McCaffrey never playing.
Well, she doesn't have her starting receivers anymore.
Yeah, because it was Rashee Rice
and Brandon Ayuk, and they're both done for the season.
Yeah. So, the last couple of weeks have brought her team from, like, struggling but potential to probably fucked, if we're being realistic. Like, I mean, the fact that she has 4 wins...
4 wins with this many injuries is really, really good.
2 to have a playoff chance.
Yeah.
But I think the last couple of weeks have just been horrible to Becca.
And yet she still has upside. Like, she still has Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Brooks about to come back, even though somehow running back isn't really her main issue anymore. It's now a receiver. But her team is going to get better. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, having Josh Allen, you pretty much always have some kind of pop-off potential. It's just how it is.
Right.
But yeah, and then I think, I guess, is there a team that you're like, you have no fucking clue what to think?
Trisha? I think Trisha and Steele right now, actually. Because Steele just lost Chris Godwin, and Trisha's been starting Jaleel McLaughlin for the past 4 weeks. She's got Keenan Allen on the roster right now, and she's crushing, and I really don't get it. I'm just like, I feel like this team should be so much, so boom bust, and it's kind of just booming, and maybe the bottom drops out, if I don't know, man. What is going on?
And what's crazy is, not to flame her, I'm not sure she realizes that she could, put Saquon into the running back slot. And then
right. And take out Jaleel and put in a receiver.
I thought I told her that. And I just think she, a lot of times, didn't fucking listen to me. She's not here right now, so I can just roast the fuck out of her.
Oh, let's go, baby.
And there's no way she's gonna listen to this shit. But yeah, no, I think her team. And again, I look at it, I'm like, I don't like all these parts. I don't like starting Keenan Allen as wide receiver 2.
Right.
Obviously, I don't like Njoku. But then, the team just goes the fuck off.
Right, it's fucking stupid. I heard, 3 assists, 3 players that are just completely fucking broken right now. And that's JJ, Kenneth Walker, let's go K9, and Saquon. Fucking nuts. Which is, I guess, just sometimes shows, you don't really need a full team sometimes. All you need is 3 outstanding players, and you can do a lot.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Baker Mayfield's been crazy this year. I think he's, the number 2 quarterback behind Lamar, or number 1.
That's a good point. Actually, he might be ahead of
he's number 2 currently.
Yeah, okay.
And even if he gets worse with the loss of his receivers, she has C.J. Stroud on the bench.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, yeah, that's the one where I'm like, I know what to think with this team. I know. I think this is I power ranked her 9th. Got so much shit for it from her and from this podcast. And I think she's probably a Super Bowl contender right now.
That's fair. I think for me, it's almost like if she just rearranges her bench and starting roster, please take Jaleel and Keenan Allen out. Like, Tua is back. Put Jalen Waddle back in. Even though Tank Dell's been doing that great, like, Nico Collins is still out. Put Tank Dell in. Please. Like, if that happens, this team is amazing.
I would actually play Keenan Allen over Tank Dell. I think Tank Dell's been
all right, that's fair. That's fair. But absolutely get Julian McLaughlin out of this lineup for the love of God.
Especially now that Javonte Williams is like doing things.
Right, and they're against Carolina. They're gonna run the ball with Javonte Williams just the entire game.
Yeah. The team I'm not sure about for me is B-Way.
Really?
Because I mean, he just traded away Tyreek, which is a huge part of his ceiling.
Yeah.
And so this team, it's like, it seems decent, right? Dak puts up numbers. He's not on the good.
Yeah.
Like Jaden Reed's been good, but he's so inconsistent. Plus, he's hurt right now. Alvin Kamara's been good.
He's been hurt off and on the whole season. He'll be fine.
James Conner's consistent, but hasn't had any. I mean, he's had a couple like pretty good games.
Yeah.
But I just feel like the ceiling for this team outside of Alvin Kamara, because Devontae Adams has been pretty terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's got a really high floor. It feels like, but then I don't know. This it's gonna randomly have like a Kamara 35-point game and like stomp somebody into the ground, but I feel like I'm never gonna be able to predict matchups here.
For me, it's. No, I kind of agree with you. He really needs Davante Adams to, just absolutely metaphorically sleep with Aaron Rodgers on the field and get like 30 points, right? Just absolutely pop off, which obviously is Davante Adams. He can do that. And it's with Aaron Rodgers, and it absolutely can happen. And he needs that to happen. He needs Dak Prescott to be a quarterback. He needs Kamara to, just be good, which... he is good, but I don't know. And then he needs Jaden Reed to have like a 30-point week, which all of these are possible. It's just a lot to happen for it to be like a ceiling week. So I kind of agree with you. Yeah.
Regardless, compared to last season, he had 5 wins last year. He's already at 3 this year. So it's definitely a huge improvement for Garrett.
Yeah.
I just, I could see this team getting like a 5th place, and I could also see them ending at like 10th.
Yeah. He also does have Debo on his bench, and Brandon Ayuk's out for the year, so like he still has, not a bunch, but he's got some people on his bench that he could rotate in and at least give him a little bit of boost. So it's not like he's completely shallow. So I guess if he started Debo, right? Like in a healthy scenario, in a perfect week. Let's say he's got an Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to talk Dak. Dak's got bigger upside. Let's say we have like a Dak, Devontae, Jaden Reed, Kamara on a good week, Connor on a good week, Kincaid if he ever scores a touchdown, and Deebo Samuel. Like, that's the ceiling, right? Still a lot to ask for, but like it's kind of there. It's just I'm not super excited about it.
Yeah. I'm curious. I still don't understand this Kincaid trade. I don't know why he wanted Kincaid so badly. I
don't know either. So, okay, if I'm going to ask B-Way, because I don't know what he thinks about this. I'm gonna ask him if I should cut this or not. But I was talking with B-Way about, because I wanted Tyreek for a while, and I was asking him what kind of stuff he was willing to give up, or what he wanted for Tyreek. And obviously, everyone's pretty tired of me asking for trades, which is like, I get it, but at the same time, go fuck yourself, Banglewood. Apparently Banglewood was talking shit about the way I trade, and he was basically saying that, which is true, by the way, this is what I do. I'll go and be like, I want this player, what would you want for him? And Banglewood's like, it's not a way to trade. Like, it's so, like, how am I gonna know what I feel about my team? And I'm like, I get it, but at the same time, sometimes the best trades reveal themselves. And here's the case with B-Way, because I've been talking for months, and I basically some trades fell through, and then all of a sudden B-Way goes, or I'm like, okay, what do you want for Tyreek now? And literally immediately he goes, Kincaid. Like a single line, I'm like, what do you want for Tyreek? He goes, Kincaid. I'm like, 1 for 1? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, throw in Ferguson? And he goes, if you send me a video of you saying, I'm a pretty princess, I will throw in Ferguson. So I sent him a video of me on my chair going, I'm a pretty princess. and we made the trade. And I'm like, all right, man, I'll do it. And then obviously it didn't happen because everyone freaked out. But then we renegotiated with Jaden Reed and made it work. But I don't know. Like, I hope Kincaid pops off for him. That would be hilarious. I miss having Kincaid. I was excited to have him on my team. But, man, it was fucking funny.
Dude, I so want that to be at the end of the intro now. It's just you, like, I'm a pretty princess.
So what he told me is that he was making an edit. I don't know what happened to the edit. I hope we find it. I don't mind. But I want to see that edit. And we will absolutely put that in the intro if we have it. Because it's fucking hilarious.
Well, I guess we'll see with all these teams. I mean, again, the standings are so fucked. It's going to come to a lot to schedule strength. I mean, Justin's won 3 games in a row, and his team literally doesn't score points. So.
God, this team... how? What a shit fest. This team has got to be the worst 11th place team I've ever seen.
Because who? I'm trying to think who was 11th. I think it was you the first year, or was it? I think it was you or Sharks you the first year.
I snuck into 10th place, I think. So I think it might have been either Sharks or Steele. I don't remember. Yeah, I guess I can look.
Yeah, it was. God, I love business spreadsheet, but sometimes it's very difficult to read.
Let me use Yahoo. If it wants to update for me, that'd be neat. Pardon the interruption.
14. Steele's 5-9. You were 5-9. Sharks was 6-8. Okay, so it's either you or Steele.
Oh, either me. I don't know. I had the points. I don't know who had the head-to-head, but it was either me or Steele.
But again, 11th place ended at 5-9, right? And then last
Right.
year it was 5-9. And season 2, I think it may have been 4-12. I'm trying to remember what Becca was. Becca was 5-9 as well.
Yeah, a lot of 5-9 teams.
Yeah, that's your benchmark for 11th place. And
Well, I mean, here's the thing though. Like, what as we found out, what makes a win? what
what
constitutes
it says on the
good,
scoreboard, Reeves.
What
That's
constitutes a good team? Is it points you put up? Is it what we think of the team? Is it wins? Like, what is it? Because this team is terrible to the eye test, is terrible for points, but somehow it's eking by with 3 wins, and I guess it can get to 5-9 or even 6 or even further, right? Like, I don't.
I mean, the 3 teams that seem like they're overperforming for what they should do happen to be the 3 lowest points against teams in the league. That's not a coincidence, right?
Right. Yeah. Right.
Justin having 3 wins now is a fucking shock. Brett having 5 wins is insane, and Becca being on a 2-game win streak after all her bullshit.
We're talking about points against here with Justin's team. This has got to be the funniest fucking stat. Justin has 656 points against, which is obviously by far the lowest by looks like about almost 40 points. And his points for, he has 1 less. That's how low his points are. 1 less his points against.
That is so fucking funny.
That's so funny.
Oh, poor guy.
Poor guy. What do you mean? He's got 3 wins. Celebrate this man. How did he do it?
That's true.
How did he do
I
it?
have 4 wins. Fuck.
Yeah. What is this wizardry?
Dude, I'm just looking back at his history. He's played 2. He started off, Steele had a good week against him, and he had a good week.
Yeah.
Then he played you
Yeah.
You barely beat him like 103 to 100.
Yeah, because
And then he's not played another 100-point scorer since then.
Nope, he's just fallen. It's partially because of injury, but or I guess the people he's played against, right? Yeah. I don't know.
98.
What is fantasy?
91, 81, 96, 63.
He won with 81 points last week.
On another note, I'm very glad BYU ended up beating, or not being, one of the worst teams, one of the worst scores of all time, because his projection at one point was projected to be the lowest score outside of Cam's playoff game, including like worse than that game where Sharksy was like in the hospital. And like, wasn't participating.
Wait, I thought her hospital week 1.
She was in there 2 weeks and she lost. She got shit stomped by Becca in one in the week that Becca scored like a bajillion points, and
yeah,
then
like
the next week she won.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Was it Spencer who lost to Hospital Sharksy? Who was that?
I think so.
That'd be so funny if it's the
right.
plot armor that cracked against fucking Hospital Sharksy.
Well, I guess we'll go ahead and start taking a look at this week's games. I mean, I think there's a couple pretty good ones on the schedule, and a couple not as good ones.
Yeah, which ones do you think are not so good?
Well, I think Brett versus Gary. I guess it's competitive. I just think
it's competitive for who can be shittiest.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be interesting to see like if Brett falls down to earth.
Yeah, right.
So I guess let's start there, right? We picked, believe we picked different teams on this one. Yeah, I picked Brett and you picked B-Way. So why do you think Brett is going to come out in this one?
Wait, you picked Brett.
Why do you think B-Way is going to come out in this one?
because I think Brett's team fucking sucks. I think he's got the two probably best running back combo in the league, and other than that, his team's garbage. He's got Cortland Sutton with Bo Nix. He's got Christian Watson. He's got Marvin Harrison Jr. Those are his starting receivers right now. And his quarterback's not even that good. How is this man first place?
He does have Chris Olave waiting to see if he's playing.
Yeah, but it's with Spencer Rattler.
The gunslinger. I don't know. And yeah, it's against the Chargers. It's not a great. I also think Madison could be good this week if he wants to switch out like a receiver from flex. Just because I feel like they're going to force him the ball. I mean, he had 23 carries last week.
I don't know. It's against Kansas City, who has the best run defense in the league. Not a single. I think that the highest running back fantasy points against Kansas City has been Derrick Henry at 12, and he had a touchdown. That's god awful. Kansas City's been really good against running backs.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
They can give him 23 touches, and it's going to be 23 touches for 15 yards.
Yeah, you may be right. I will say the reason I ended up going Brett on this one was, I mean, you could say his two running backs combined for 70 points, and I wouldn't be surprised. New England's run defense got absolutely fucking murdered by the Jags last week.
Yeah. And
we ran 19 straight rushes. And then their head coach called them soft after the game. Hello?
That's a bro, man. I mean, I agree with you. I think he's going to have two players that are going to score a shit ton of points. And for me, I feel like you really need a third player to convince me. Like a third player that's actually good to convince me this team can score well. And even though he's got the best running back room in the league, the rest of his team is so bad. And B-Way actually does have potential, especially if, like, Debo plays, right? Like, I know he's questionable, but Debo could play. And the rest of his team has some... I mean, they have some upside. So, I don't know. Man, this is a... God, this matchup fucking blows.
Yeah, I think for me, part of it, I don't know, last time... Marvin Harrison had a huge stinker of a game because, I mean, he's been kind of getting flamed for, like, not trying on routes this week. Last time he had a huge stinker and wasn't trying on routes. The next week he came out with 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Miami defense has been really good this year, but I still don't know if I trust it because I feel like teams just got ahead on them and started running, so their passing stats look really good.
Yeah, I think it's probably right.
And they have good pieces, but they have injuries. So, yeah, I think Kyler's probably where the matchup or where Brett's points are going to be decided from if Kyler has another shit game, like he has a couple times this year.
Yeah, poo-poo butt.
Then Brett's probably fucked.
Yep. I mean, I have Kyler. I have this stack in another league. I'm not happy. I'm not excited about it. If I could, like, I want to bench Marvin Harrison until he pops off, until I see he does anything. Brett doesn't have that luxury, and not only does he not have that luxury, his wide receiver 2, he's basically praying for a Christian Watson pop off because Christian Watson is boom bust. If he gets a 60-yard touchdown, great, you get 12 points. If he doesn't, you're gonna get nothing, and that's that's it. Fuck, man. That's why I'm going with B-Way, even if I don't think this team is exceptional right now.
Yeah. I wonder, I mean, even if Olave doesn't play, I wonder if I'd play Khalil Shakir over Christian Watson. Just like, I don't know. See what he is coming back.
Yeah, actually, I probably would. Seattle's they've been a little banged up. I don't know if they're going to get any healthier for this game. But, I mean, their pass defense has been pretty good. But, again, it could be like a high-scoring game. So, I'm not sure. It would be nice to see how Khalil Shakir fits into this new Buffalo passing offense. He could, like, pop off because he gets all the underneath stuff when Amari Cooper clears out. Or it could just be, nope, Kincaid's getting all that and Shakir duds. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think, like, this week's going to be telling for the Buffalo offense because it's going to be, because, like, obviously Kincaid's, like, Amari Cooper is the number 1, and then you have, like, the number 2 and 3 is 2 of Keon Coleman, Shakir, and Kincaid. And, like, who actually emerges from that group?
I think, I don't know, I think Keon Coleman's the guy that's going to be boom bust. He's going to have a good week here, a bad week there. And I think it's, I don't know, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I think it's probably Kincaid is the consistent number 2. He's been, even though Shakir has not been in the offense, and maybe that'll go down when he comes back, I think Kincaid's still been, he's getting the consistent targets. And he's probably more talented than Shakir, so I don't know.
Yeah, I guess this will be a good week to see. So maybe the matchup's not as bad as I thought it was. It's just...
It's a good matchup from not great teams.
Yeah, and there's always the chance that both teams score below 100.
Right.
Because I think Brett's averaging below 100. And B-Way's barely averaging 100, so...
He's averaging below 100, he's first. I don't have a single game below 100. I'm second, but the game I played Brett, I lost because it was the only time he scored 126. I'm going to kill myself. Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah, wait, does Wyatt even have a game below 100? I don't...
Yeah, he does.
He has 1, 2... Okay, yeah. He has 2 games below 100. Jeez. Yeah, So I'm going to go I'm going to go Brett. I have faith. We'll see, though.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, it looks like Cooper Kupp has caught a receiving touchdown. Banglewood stonks up. Becca Current stonks down. Even though Becca's still apparently favored to win, according to Yahoo.
Yeah, I mean, Cooper Kupp has 4 targets. It's not a ton, but it's not a bad number for the first half. Like, it's...
Yeah, that's pretty good. Let me look, because I was a little surprised when I saw this, that Puka... Oh, my God! Puka has 9 points, no touchdown, and he's coming back from an injury, baby! We're juiced up! I benched him, but I don't care. This is what we love to see, because it means next week I'm sending Puka to the moon. Let's go.
Dang, it's going to be crazy. I guess speaking of your team, I guess let's go to you versus Biz, because I think this is a pretty good matchup. I mean, Biz has been way better than I expected this year.
Yep.
But she is still sitting at 3-4.
Yep.
versus you, who's second at 4-3, the highest scoring team in the league. But Biz, I will say, Biz has not had Malik Neighbors for large portions of this year.
That's fair.
Like, what, 3 games, I think, that he's been
She's not had Malik Neighbors, although last game when she did, Malik Neighbors wasn't great. It was like his first truly not great game. And now he's against Pittsburgh. And guess what? Pittsburgh has a good defense.
They do, indeed. They did absolutely shit on the Jets last week.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of shits on the Jets.
Man, the Jets are not looking great.
I think the league actually unanimously picked you this week. Not a surprise.
I think Biz has a good team. Especially because Chuba Hubbard is still the lead back, I think, for now. I don't really... Obviously, Devontae Smith did very poorly last week and has kind of been mid. He's been okay. I mean, if you do 0.3 in a week, even if... I mean, he doesn't have any 20-point games, so he's not great. I don't... Excuse me. Celsius coming up. Even if he doesn't get 0.3 again, I don't know how well he's going to do, but the Porta's been ass, too. I don't know. She's got a decent team. I definitely feel like it falls off pretty hard when Jonathan Brooks comes back, because then who the fuck do you play at flex? But
yeah, maybe like a Jameson Williams.
Oh, who's suspended?
Yeah, but only for 2 games, right? Like, he'll come back.
That's fair. Yeah.
She also has an open bench spot. I don't really know why.
I couldn't tell you. I really, really could not tell you what's going on there.
But I do think the one thing that's looking good for Biz's team this week, I think the matchups quarterback plus Devontae Smith, that game is going to be, I think it's going to be a shootout because both those teams have just awful defenses.
Yeah.
And then Josh Jacobs could be a good matchup. I mean, the Jags haven't been terrible against the run this year.
Yeah, it's just been against the pass. They've been horrendous. I know Foyer's practicing. Do you think we're going to get Foyer back this week?
I don't know if he's been activated yet, so I think he'll probably come back next week.
All right. Neat.
He can come back this week.
Right.
It's like a 21-day window from when they start practicing to when they have to be activated.
Yeah, I know that. I just didn't know if, like, from reports you already thought he was going to be activated, because obviously they can activate him the day of. Like, if he practices the week and they're like, you know what, we like him, they just activate him.
Yeah.
But I feel like that hampers or either hampers or allow it really affects Josh Jacobs' value, right? Because if he plays, look, I know we're homers, but Foyer's fucking good. He's really good against the run. He's one of the reasons when he's in, we actually have a run defense, and we kind of just become a pass funnel, which is not great, but that's good or bad for Josh Jacobs if not running as much.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest weaknesses the Jags defense has had is we have fucking terrible linebackers playing right now. Our best linebacker right now is Ventrell Miller, who's actually been decent, but like Chad Muma and Devin Lloyd have been fucking terrible.
I can hear Banglewood somewhere off in the distance going, Muma!
He loves Muma. That man...
I don't know why. I guess it's just his name? I mean, he's... I don't know.
It is a good name. It's a good name. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone picked you pretty handily. I think Biz could have a good week still, but I just think your team... Right, it's tough to pick against your team right now.
I think our team, at least in its current incarnation, is a low-mid playoff team. But still a playoff team, probably. Afterwards, I'm not sure, but it's okay. Now, do I think it's going to beat me? I hope not. If Tyreek plays, if Jordan Mason plays, if I can figure out who to play at flex, I'm hoping I go to the fucking moon. But it's always possible that I don't.
Hey, we will see. two 4-3 teams duking it out between Banglewood and Becca, and yet this may be the least hyped matchup of the entire week, just because of how rough these teams have had it, I guess, for a lot of the year.
Yeah. So, yeah, Bengal is getting guys back, but he's also got guys that are questionable too. That I don't know if he's going to start them. I guess I don't know. I picked Becca. I'm looking at Jordan Addison with 1.9 points, and I'm like, ooh, okay. Obviously, I'm not. Jordan Addison is probably the weakest link on her team right now, especially if ETN doesn't play, although Tank's not really getting any of the passing downs, but still, Press Taylor will find a way to run the ball 25 times, even though we're going to be behind. Yeah, it's going to be enjoyable. Anyway, I picked Becca's team largely because I see issues with both teams. I think both teams have decent upside, though, potentially. And I picked her team because of Josh Allen. That's pretty much it. I think Swift could pop off. I think Bigsby could be decent. Chase Brown could be decent, even though she still is missing a lot of players. And I think Josh Allen's going to go to the moon, where on Banglewood's side, it's like, I didn't know how well Cooper Kupp's going to do. I guess he's doing okay. His running backs are still good. And Patrick Mahomes, I'm like, they're just going to run the ball the entire game. They're just going to hand it off to Kareem Hunt 25 times. He's going to pop off, and I don't know if Mahomes is going to do anything.
I don't get the trade he made at quarterback. I really don't get it.
I don't know. This is what he said. He told me he was doing it to help out Steele. But at the same time, he's like, I still like Mahomes better. Now, granted, I think his goal was really just to tide him over. He thought Mahomes was just straight up better than Darnold, and he was just waiting for Tua to come back. But yeah, Mahomes has been terrible in fantasy this year. Like, fucking but he doesn't need to be good.
Yeah, I mean, I assume Banglewood is playing Tua.
If he plays, right? Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe he's not playing him, but like, I don't see a way that you can really start Patrick Mahomes right now.
Yep. I think Banglewood's usually just been cautious. Oh, fuck. Oh, so Jonathan Taylor was at full practice today. He's going to play. I didn't see that when I made my pick. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. He can bench Najee Harris and start Jonathan Taylor, and that looks a little better for his team. Okay, all right. Well, I might have made a mistake here, but I'm still picking Becca low.
What I will say is, last time they played Houston, Jonathan Taylor averaged 3 yards a carry on 16 carries. Houston's defense is one of the best against the run in the entire league.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
It may not be that much better. It's probably better than Najee Harris because it's Najee Harris, but like, I don't expect some crazy game, and they could have limited his workload too. So you never know.
Yeah, that's fair. And he coming off a high ankle sprain, but he is by far their best offensive player, and they are somehow a competitive team, and they need to win this. So I don't know. We'll see.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, fuck the Colts.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see these teams scoring a lot of points, but I do think Becca's going to pull it out.
Oh, you picked Becca?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. It was the other losers that picked Becca.
I picked Becca. Wyatt and Alex both picked Banglewood. So
I swatched my pick.
Completely split on this one.
Cool, nice.
Also, I should say, we all picked Reeves, and what was the other matchup that we talked about?
We all picked Wyatt, which we haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah. Oh, we talked about Brett versus B-Way.
Yeah.
I picked Brett, and Alex. Oh, everyone except you picked Brett, actually. You were alone back in that.
Yeah, I don't like Brett's team. I mean, I might just be stupid, but I still don't like Brett. I still don't like Brett's team, like for good reason, but it keeps winning. So I don't know. I want to the pick.
It's tough. Okay, next we will go to, I don't know, you pick between the 3 remaining.
Oh,
Steele versus Spencer.
I want to talk about one thing that we haven't been talking about that we said we were going to talk about is playoff implications. And guess what? This Thomas the TD engine versus I Kirk off to my cousins has pretty significant playoff implications. Because if Wyatt doesn't win this, now I think he should win this, and everyone picked him to win. If Wyatt doesn't win this, he's fucked. Like, he literally needs to basically win out. I think. If he doesn't win out, he needs to, like, get some really, really lucky tiebreakers, but he basically needs to win out. And obviously Justin needs to take him where he can get him. So.
Oh, poor guy.
Sorry, Justin. I'm not sure you're gonna watch this anyway, but I'm sorry. Justin needs to win this. I don't know if he's gonna. Wyatt absolutely fucking needs to win this, and so huge playoff implication match because if like I said, if Wyatt loses this, it's gonna be a really good team that potentially is not gonna make the playoffs. Yeah.
I'm trying to find a team that started 2-6 and made playoffs. Beans started 3-5 and made playoffs. So it is, and so did Steele in season 2.
So interesting.
I don't know if 2-6 has been done though.
There was, I know 2-6. Obviously, when Wyatt was, or when both these teams were 0-4, I checked because no team had made playoffs that were 0-4, and both of these teams here are 0-4. Obviously, they both bounced back a little bit, where they won some games. Somehow Justin's won 3 of them. But it would be absolutely fucking hilarious. Listen, actually, I would love to see it. I would love to see Justin with, once again, I'm sorry, Justin, this godforsaken, shitty-ass fucking god-awful team make the playoffs. That'd be so funny. I would love to see that. That'd be fucking hilarious. I would love it.
It would be funny.
It would be so
funny. Yeah, a 2-6 team has never made it. Brett was close last year. He started 2-6 and barely missed out on the 8th seed.
Yep. Brett's team was okay last year. One of the better teams that missed it. But Brett's team was like bad for the first part of the year. Wyatt's team has never been like god awful. It was just kind of mid, and then he's been better, but had some questionable luck. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're right in this game. I mean, if Wyatt loses, he's probably out. Statistically speaking, he's probably out.
If Wyatt loses, he is going to throw the biggest hissy fit on planet Earth. And I'm going to feel bad for him because I feel like his team is... See, I'm mixed. I'm really mixed on this because Wyatt is historically been one of the better players, if not the best player, arguably, in our fantasy history, even though he's won nothing. Lol. And so, like, I want him to do bad because I don't want to have to play a good team in the playoffs, but at the same time, now he's almost doing too bad, where I'm like, oh, I feel bad for him. But then when he starts whining, like, I kind of want to see that because that'd be kind of funny again, and, like, I don't know what to feel, but...
He is our all-time wins leader.
Right.
I think it's...
I think I did the math at some point. He might be the all-time adjusted points leader as well.
I guess that would make sense, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's 100%, but yeah.
Yeah, I know he won, because he won like 11 games the first year, which is...
Yeah. He wasn't the highest score, but I think he was 11-3.
He won 11 games, and then he won 10 games, and then he won 8 last year, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely the wins leader. I think it's then me and then like Biz, I think.
Probably. Yeah. So.
But yeah, luckily for Wyatt, I do think he's gonna win.
Well, he's already up to 71% because
Holy shit. It just keeps climbing. I have it open on my screen.
Apparently just feeding him the ball every single play.
I mean, 16 points in the first quarter is fucking crazy.
Well, it's first half.
Or first half, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think even outside of this Kyron Williams explosion, Alec, I just call him Alex, Jesus. Alec has a lot of good matchups.
You called him Alex earlier, by the way, too.
Huh?
I think you called him Alex earlier, by the way, too.
Well, get a fucking original name, buddy, okay? Get one that doesn't sound like everything else.
Oh.
Same with Alex, honestly. Both Alexes. All of you change your fucking
Alec, and Alec. God damn it, people. Can we get another Reeves in here? Actually, no, don't do that. I like my name. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown combo should be really good against Cincinnati's terrible defense.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Kroft against the Jaguars linebackers is just a fucking...
Tyler Kroft, yep. There it is.
Tucker Kraft. I'm just going to call him Tyler Kroft on purpose.
It will always be Tyler Kroft, and it will always be Jason Mason.
Yes. And then the Kansas shitty defense against Las Vegas. I mean, that could be a shutout, potentially. I think it's Gardner Minshew, but we'll probably get benched for Desmond Ridder situation at quarterback because Antonio Pierce just hates Gardner Minshew for whatever reason.
Well, he did, throw 3 picks last week.
Okay, but it's Desmond Ridder.
That's true. He'll have 3 picks, but 15 rushing yards.
And then meanwhile on the other side, Justin is starting Anthony Richardson, who had a great game against Houston last time.
It's true. Very true.
30 points. But he's also starting Raheem Mostert.
Yeah. He's got Kareem Hunt, though. I think Kareem Hunt's going to run buck fucking wild over Las Vegas.
It is very, very possible that Kareem Hunt goes absolutely apeshit.
It's not like Justin doesn't have good players. Brock Bowers is the number 1 tight end in the league because he's the only person that gets targets. Kareem Hunt right now was a great pickup. We've had some... It's kind of been a mid-waiver year. Kareem Hunt has been probably one of the best waiver pickups. Doing really well. Garrett Wilson is a player. He's a good player. He's better than I don't know. But yeah, he's got some good players, but then he's also got a lot of questionable players too. Like Michael Pittman.
The fucking police. I'll mute myself.
You're still muted.
Yeah, I know. I was like, because you were perfectly emulating it. So I was like, can he hear? What is going on?
I just know. I know the police so well.
Yeah, I mean, the Kareem Hunt matchup looks good. Darnell Mooney last time against Tampa Bay got 16 targets. I don't think that's happening again.
No.
Because that was that crazy game where Kirk Cousins threw for 500 yards.
That was fucking nuts.
And then Garrett Wilson had a pretty pedestrian game against New England last time, so that's not a huge difference. I don't know. I just don't like the matchups for Justin. And Wyatt's matchups are crazy.
That is very fair. Yep, I'm definitely picking Wyatt in a must-win game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, yeah. If Justin is 4-4,
that would be so funny.
That would be insane.
So funny.
All right, we have 2 more.
What have we missed? Oh, you and Trisha.
Yeah.
You and Trisha, what a little cutie pie matchup. Oh my God, Justin Jefferson, 10 points already. Let's go.
Yeah, we just played in our other league. We played against each other, and I won. So I have a very strong feeling she's going to win this one, especially given the state of my roster.
Oh, you're getting bent over, baby.
We talked a bit about Trisha's team, what we like, and the whole Jaleel McLaughlin situation. How do you think? How do you think it stacks up versus my team? I guess is the question.
Well, your team is kind of the opposite of hers, where you don't really have any holes, but you don't have any players that I'm super excited about. Maybe DD, but also And I guess there could be a hole in flex too if Etienne doesn't play, and then I don't really know who you start. Tyrone Tracy against Pittsburgh, lol. I mean, like, Trey McBride's really good. Nicholas Chubalis is coming back, but he's against Baltoromus. I like Jabanti against Carolina. He's gonna do pretty decent. D. Moore against Washington. P. Decent. Jay Labu against Haxon Beal. So you got some decent players. No one I'm just like, oh man. But, you got one less hole, than Trish's team. Unfortunately, you also have about 2 less amazing players.
Yeah. I think the only person I'm really excited about on my team is Jordan Love, because literally just fucking throw less interceptions and you'd be quarterback 3 probably. Well, I mean, he missed 2 weeks and he's still the 10th highest ranked player in fantasy.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
He doesn't really score badly because they throw the ball a shit ton when he plays the game,
and he just gets 4 touchdowns every game.
Yeah.
Not even for that many yards necessarily. You get 200 yards and just fuck ton of touchdowns.
Yeah.
Pretty dumb.
So, but yeah, I agree outside. I think my roster's a little more steady, but I don't think it has the top end, especially with, like you said, we don't know what Nick Chubb's going to look like, and then Trey McBride should be better than he is. I don't know why. He's fucking, every time I watch Arizona, I feel like he's open all the time.
He's still been performing pretty well for a tight end.
Yeah, he's I think he's tight end 5 or 6, which is really good. But I feel like
because all the touchdowns, right? Because all the bullshit touchdowns, right? But on a weekly basis, I would rather start Trey McBride over just about anyone.
Yeah, because I think I also have tight end 4 on my roster in Cole Kmet, and he is the most inconsistent, touchdown dependent motherfucker.
Absolutely. Yep.
But yeah, I picked Trisha this week because I think her star power is just gonna put her over the top.
Did I also?
I think that's what my team lacks. But everyone else picked me, which I really don't get.
Oh, I did. Oh, I guess I just look at. Oh wait, I did. I picked you. Oh no. Well, yeah. Julian McLaughlin, let's hope he gets 0 points. Keenan Allen, let's hope he gets 0 points. That's basically it. Why did I pick? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I was so confused why everyone...
I think your team has a high floor. Once again, it doesn't matter. Why did I do that? Fuck! Baker Mayfield could also just be shit because he has no receivers to throw to. That's also very probable. Maybe Kenneth Walker doesn't play. He's currently questionable. Saquon is gonna get 25. Yeah, Saquon's getting 25. That's about it. Maybe if she, I don't know. I guess I'm hoping for Pickham's sake that she doesn't change her roster around, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, I guess. I do think playoff-wise, her winning is pretty huge.
Yeah.
Because, she'll set herself apart as, one of the elite teams.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because I think she is. She's one of the other teams that I would be, actually kind of spooked by, because she actually does have, 3 or 4 stellar players, where there aren't that many teams that have that. There's, 2 at most on most rosters.
Yeah, and then I think, I do think luckily it's not a must-win game for me, because I think if I lose, I'm going to be about where I am now. And if I win, I'll move up again above the 3-win teams, but I'm still going to be towards the bottom of the 4-win teams. It'd probably be me and Becca.
I don't think it's must-win necessarily. I think this is the point in the season. Obviously, we're really close to each other. We're going to start seeing a little bit of separation. And I think definitely if you lose this, it's going to make it a lot harder to make playoffs, even if your standings don't change that much. Because right now you're 9. You're outside looking in. Right? Maybe there's 2 other 3 and 4 teams above you, but it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I think your team is. You're a borderline playoff team. I'd like to see if you're gonna play it, if you're gonna make it. I think you're better than a lot of other teams that are potentially slated to make the playoffs right now, but probably borderline playoff team, and I'd be very interested to see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think, I don't know. I think this is probably the worst team I've had since season 1. I think.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. Yeah, I see. We thought last year people were going to pull away too, and then there were 5, 8, and 6 teams at the end of the year.
That's fair. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I think they pulled away from. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I still think that it sifts out a little bit. I guess maybe if anyone pulls away, it's the cream rises to the top. Maybe even if it doesn't separate, but it might just be like, okay, it's obvious what the good teams are, right? But yeah, I think I probably agree that 5 to 9 or 10 is just gonna kind of be thick mud.
Well, speaking of rising to the top, 2 teams that have a chance to look really elite after this week in our final matchup of the week, which definitely has playoff implications, is Spencer versus Steele.
Yeah.
This is one of the harder ones to pick, I think, in general. Obviously, Steele has 3 players playing right now, so we can see that his defense only has 1 point, and he's below projections.
But Sam Darnold has 17, so...
That's true.
Yeah.
Let's see. Before this game, I picked Spencer. Wyatt picked Spencer. You picked Spencer, and Alex picked Steele. So, why do you think Spencer is going to end up pulling it out in the end?
Because now that he knows that, hoping maybe, now that he knows that which players are hurt, or potentially which players could get injured in the middle of the game, or bench those players, I think his team is one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the league. And Steele, which was, he's number 3, right, suffered a fantastic loss with Chris Godwin. That's really, really bad for his team, where he has no depth. He has negative depth. He's going to have to start Austin Eckler, Devin Singletary, Adam Lazard, Rashad Bateman. Maybe Bateman might be the play, potentially going rest of season. I'm not sure. That's risque biscuit, baby. Montgomery has been really good, but also this is the part of the season when I think he's going to start slowing down a little bit. Aaron Jones, he's also old. As we can see, he only has 38 rushing yards. Great player. He's going to start slowing down a little bit too, I think. Maybe they're not going to be bad per se, right? They're not going to drop to the bottom, but they're going to start slowing down where they were popping off before. And Steele, actually, this is the part where we were questioning Steele's team before. We were talking about, if we had Chris Godwin and we moved Chris Godwin into the wide receiver 2 slot and we have T. Higgins in the flex spot, it's fine, right? And we think that's okay. We don't care about it. Now T. Higgins is a wide receiver 2. And even though T. Higgins has been really good. He's been an excellent receiver. And that really helped where he had all 3 of those receivers going. Now he doesn't. And he significantly has his ceiling capped because, 1, because his flex is going to be trash, and 2, because he's starting 2 wide receivers for the rest of the season from the same team. I'm worried about Steele's team. It's maybe sneaks into the playoffs, but definitely this is a Spencer looking pretty decent, and Steele, I'd like to see if he can keep this up, because his team's been pretty. It's been really good so far. But I think I kind of see this as the start of crash and burn Steele, which is unfortunate because this is what happens literally every year.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything you said, right? The flex is just such a massive gap between the 2 teams.
Flex gap.
Yeah. However, I do think there's a chance for Steele. And that comes off 2 things. 1, Tennessee have a really good defense against Spencer having a stack, which collapse so easily.
Yep.
And then 2, the Bengals playing against the Eagles' terrible secondary.
Yep.
We talked about it multiple times in this episode.
And
He's got both Bengals receivers.
Jamar Chase is carrying Steele for a reason. Because he is like, if I could have any wide receiver in the entire league, probably pick Jamar Chase number 1 right now. Or close, maybe 1 or 2. I don't know if it's 3, but like he's been playing really, really fucking good. He's been popping off, and in part because the Cincinnati defense is so fucking bad, they just have to pass the entire game. And if you can get a guy with efficiency standards like Jamar Chase, where he's usually a little bit targeted a little bit lower, but has really high efficiency on an offense where he's getting a lot of targets, then you'll love to see that. And so, yeah, he's got really solid chances.
Yeah, Jamar Chase is fucking crazy. I mean, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are combining. They've combined the last 3 weeks. They've scored 110 points combined. It's like, what, 36 a week?
That's disgusting.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, so if you can get that level from your receivers,
yeah,
and then have like a mediocre game from Jared Goff and Amon-Ra, then I think it's winnable.
Yep.
However, yeah, I think that Steele's roster just has a few too many holes for me to feel confident in picking them right now.
And Spencer still has Derrick Henry. Mark Andrews is starting to actually look like himself. You know, James Cook is still a decent player. Pollard's coming alive a little bit. And, you know, maybe if Tennessee does happen to drop the ball, then guess what? Amon-Ra St. Brown is, you know, if Jamar Chase wasn't the number 1 receiver, then maybe it's Amon-Ra. Like, Amon-Ra's been playing really well, too. So, yeah.
Wow. You're saying Amon-Ra number 1?
I don't know if Amon-Ra's
JJ?
No. Well, fantasy-wise, I don't know if he's number 1. Maybe number 2 or 3 for me, right? But he's been good. I'd probably take JJ over Amon-Ra. Maybe CD over Amon-Ra. It kind of depends. It's tough for me to say.
Not this season. Fuck that.
That's fair.
As the team aptly named CD's nuts, like
that's fair. I mean, he's a better fantasy player if the Dallas offense does anything. That kind of
yeah. And you know, like looking back, I think this Spencer in the rankings looks so much worse than he actually is.
Yeah.
Because,
Absolutely.
1, he's had an insanely difficult schedule, 3rd in the league. 2, he should have won last week.
He should have won.
Jayden Daniels got hurt in the first quarter.
Jayden Daniels, like the number 2 or 3 quarterback in the whole league, who got hurt immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, and luckily he has a good backup, right? Jared Goff is a fine backup, but like he should have won that game last week.
Right. Fine.
And if he won that, he would be.
Game.
If Jayden Daniels put up 25 points, he would be 4th instead of 7th, which seems like a huge jump.
Yeah.
So I do think Spencer's going to prove that he's one of the elite teams this week.
Yep, I agree.
Probably joining, you know, a couple teams at 4 wins, and really, but he'll be maybe the top scorer, if not like 2nd in that tier.
Yep, I think I fully agree with you.
You excited?
I'm very excited.
Halfway through.
I'm very excited. It almost we're halfway through, but it feels almost like we're in the latter half, which is really weird. Which is, like never happens. Usually it's like it feels like we're just starting and all of a sudden it's over. But right now it feels like we're in Act 3, which I guess we're not, but whatever. I don't know. This is neatest, baby.
I wonder if it's because the standings are so muddled. You know, like our first season, right? By this point, we pretty much knew 9 teams that had a playoff shot,
right,
and 3 that didn't,
right.
And so, I wonder if it feels more competitive. And it's like it feels like every week matters for the playoffs. Where in those weeks it was like, not really.
I think you're probably right, because even though it's early on, but we still think the bottom teams can still make the playoffs, but they have to win right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think I agree with that. We're kind of getting in that mode where like the win now mode, but it's not. You know, it's not like your team is so god awful where there is no win now mode. Like win now mode starts in week 4, right? We're like, yeah, I agree with that. It's gonna be exciting. I'm really excited to see what teams are gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah, because even last year we had, after week 7, we had Dalton at 1-6, Brett at 2-5, B-Way at 3-4, but he won 2 games based off the Dallas defense last year being absolutely fucking crazy.
That's so funny.
And so he kind of felt like a 2-5 team that just happened to have 3 wins.
Right.
And so yeah, it really felt like there was a bottom of the league.
Yep. And now, the bottom. I don't know what the bottom. The bottom feeling wise is Justin, and then maybe.
I was gonna say the bottom feels like Justin.
The bottom feels like Justin, and then maybe B-Way, and then I don't know what else. But I don't even know if B-Way is like actually that low. I feel like B-Way's more in the mix. So yeah,
I know. I have no clue. I think. No, I think after this week, the stays may even look worse.
Probably, yeah.
Because as a podcast, we consensus picked Steele to lose, Trisha to lose, and then one of Becca and Bengal has to lose.
There's no way Trisha loses. What the fuck is wrong with me? No fucking way Trisha.
Well, you picked her to lose, buddy.
I know. I'm a fucking idiot. I looked at Jaleel McLaughlin and Keenan Allen again, so that fucking sucks. And I keep forgetting, wow, our team's fucking good.
Yeah, and then, if they lose, some teams at 3 wins are going to jump. There could be 8 teams at 4 wins next week.
We're going to have a lot of teams at 4 wins and a lot of teams at 3 wins. Once again, you guys, yippee!
Yeah, it's just going to be who can separate themselves at the top. If Brett wins, if Brett wins, he's probably locked in the playoffs.
I think he's already locked in the playoffs. There's no,
Yeah.
I don't think his team is good enough to be a playoff team, especially with 11 points, or 11th in points. But he's got plot armor. He very much has to go 2-5 in the next game, in the next coming games. I mean, maybe worse than 2-5. I don't know, but to miss the playoffs, I think his team is bad, but in a good spot. And because he has won 5 of these games, he's gonna have the matchups. Mm-hmm. He's gonna have the matchups, which is such bullshit. But like I said, unless he goes 2-5, he has the matchups. So, I don't know. That's stupid.
So, a little bit of trivia without looking at business spreadsheet. Who are the worst teams after week 7 to miss the playoffs?
The worst teams to miss the playoffs?
Or the best teams to miss the playoffs. After week 7, so
points
before this
wise,
week of games.
Points wise or record wise?
Record wise.
Spencer year 2.
Spencer year 2 was 5-2 and missed the playoffs. Steele year 3 was 5-2 and missed the playoffs.
Oh my God!
And then Steele year 1 was 4-3 and missed the playoffs.
Oh no!
So,
oh no!
No one is safe. Is what we're saying right now. Every year, someone has had a winning record after week 7 and missed the playoffs.
I think what you're saying is, Steele, please change it.
I looked. I was like, wait, Steele finished 5-9 last year, and I looked and he was 5-2. I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember Steele losing 7 straight games.
I thought he was 6-8 last year and snuck in. That must have been the previous.
That was year 2, because I beat him. I was the 1 seed over the 8th seed.
The hardest part is I feel like at least starting off the beginning of this year, this was the year where Steele's team was actually the best it's ever been. Even though he's popped off, he's been carried by 2 players a lot of those years, and then the rest of his team kind of showed that it was shit. And this year, he actually, at least at the top, he had a fucking good team. If he didn't have any injuries, other than the bench, like I said, if he didn't have any injuries, which is part of the reason why we're getting here, his team was fucking loaded, and he caught some really bad luck because he went 4-3, and now he's gonna have to start his shitty ass bench, and it's gonna be something. But I think actually his team isn't gonna drop. I think it's good enough to still win. I think it is, even though he's gonna have to start terrible players in the flex. I think because the Bengals defense is so bad and their wide receivers are so good, I think he's got a shot. And the rest of his team is doing decent enough. I think he's got a shot. It's not like he's got one or two good players. He's still got one amazing player, 3 excellent players, right? So he's got a shot there. I mean, Kelsey could still be good. So I think he's going to make it. I'm hoping he makes it. But it's definitely taken a dip per usual. Per usual.
I'm just looking. I was like, how did this happen? Because I don't even remember. We did the podcast most of last year. I don't remember this at all.
Right.
So he scored below average every week except for one after week 7. But that one, he was the 3rd highest scoring team of the week and lost to B-Way.
Was it the Dallas defense?
I don't have the. This is week 11. It was week 11. So
right.
The Dallas defense pop-offs I remember were like early in the season.
Let me very quickly pull this up.
He lost 133 to 125 in week 11, which basically cemented him 11th place. This is not to rag on Steele, obviously, guys. We're not trying to be mean about it. It's just when you go back through the history, it's like sometimes there's been so much fantasy now that I have no fucking clue what's going on.
Right, and listen, this is the one year where I'm really just like, oh my god, Steele put together such a good team. If he misses playoffs, I'm gonna be so pissed for him. Where I know like Banglewood is like, I mean, just glazing Steele any chance he could get. But like this year, like I want to be a Steele glazer because this team was good. This team was really good.
Steele the first year started 4-1. And he missed playoffs. Oh no! He started 4-1 and ended 5-9. Oh no! Oh no! And the 1 week he won, he beat Wyatt, the best team in the league that year by far, and scored the most points of the week. What? What the fuck?
Hey Travis, guess what?
What?
Week 11, Dallas defense 21 points.
No!
BY won by 8.
Oh.
But also Brock Purdy got 32. Oh my god, wait, oh my god, I forgot about this. This was the week when I traded, B-Way needed a win. He needed a win out to make playoffs. And I traded for Jonathan Taylor, who was still injured. And I traded him Devin Singletary and Jalen Warren. And this was actually like one of the, oh my god, it was amazing. Brock Purdy gets 32 points. Devontae Smith gets 12. Jacoby Myers, who we started, lol, got 6.9. Devin Singletary to the fucking moon, 18.8. Jalen Warren, 22. And the Dallas defense, 21. He gets 133. Oh my god, this is so funny. This is
You breathed Steele. All right, well, I think that's a great point to end this episode of the SimStation Internet Football Podcast. Reeves is literally fucking griefing Steele. Just remember that. That's the takeaway.
Steele, please don't miss the playoffs. Your team is so good this year.
Steele, this is your worst start, I believe, since season 2, where you made the playoffs. So you were 3-4 that year. Just saying. But that's going to do it for us here. That was also not to Shoutout Steele.
That was not
funny.
It was really funny.
Because fantasy is so stupid sometimes. Really, you just kind of forget until you go back and look.
Yeah.
But that's going to do it for us here. Hopefully we'll be back next week if people can schedule their shit together.
Yes. Oh, and also, stick around for another episode of Great Moments.
Also, shout out to Steele for making this episode look good. I hope. I haven't actually seen it. But based on last year's logos and everything, I think it's going to look great. So we appreciate you, Steele, for all of your hard work.
Yeah, thank you very much, Steele. Apparently he's doing things that he wanted to do last year, and it never quite worked out. Because we did some interesting things, and it became a fucking mess. Last year we did the podcast here, where it was all four of us. It was Banglewood, Steele, B-Way, and myself, all recording on one mic. It was a fucking clusterfuck. It was so funny. Crazy. But we lost some of the footage. I don't remember. It was because Steele couldn't get it converted from one of the phones, or one of the phones ran out of battery or something. It was pretty funny, though. The audio was a little quiet. That was my bad. But this time, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what Steele has in store for us with, like, everything that he's really put all the effort in for basically 2 years now. So I'm fucking excited or a year, I guess. I'm excited for this.
Hell yeah. That's going to be great. We will see you guys after another insane week of fantasy football. Catch you next time.
Later.
Bye.
And now, for another episode of Great Moments in Simp Station Internet Football History. Targeting Foul. Alright, here's a disclaimer. I did not write this script, nor was this episode my idea. I am just the narrator, and I assure you that other than this interjection here and a few others later, I had absolutely nothing to do with what I am about to say. The person who wrote this script took careful effort to make this episode as fun as possible, whoever he, she, or they may be, because the English language still doesn't have a fucking singular non-gendered pronoun. The writer was not a woman, though, or trans if Dalton is listening. I'll let you figure it out for yourself who it is. If I am lying, may Gino retire this very instant, never to return to the game of football again. I am super fucking serial. Ever wonder when this league became such a cesspool? A day where literally everyone made themselves look like fools. Well, let me take you back to October 27th. 2021. On this fateful day, the league voted on a major change. We were expanding from 4 to 8 teams in the playoffs. The ramifications of this change would end up being huge, but we wouldn't know that at the time. And that's a story for another day. The vote for this change was not close at all. One person, although technically 2 votes, but fucking Agnos voted for both options, voted to change the playoffs to 6. Banglewood to a salad sandwich, which I believe is what his brain matter is made out of nowadays. Banglewood's inaugural team was 4-3, and vying for a spot in the 6-team playoffs. Unlike recent seasons, this season had a clear bottom of the league. 3 teams were truly on life support. Reeves, despite having stars like Jalen Hurts and Alvin Kamara, was coming off only his second win to bring him to 2-5. Sharksy was off to a rough start after drafting Patrick Mahomes in the first round. And Beans had a horrendous 0-7 start, thanks to large part the absence of number 1 overall pick, Christian McCaffrey, who had been injured. After standing his ground and defending his vote, Banglewood decided to send a seemingly lighthearted message that would cause one of the first fantasy blowups. He stated, at the 4 people who don't get in, 4 laughing faces. That very helpful, so sick comment sat out in the ether for 3 hours of bliss. Oh, bring back those 3 hours. But no. 3 hours later, Beans saw this comment, and after taking it personally, made a comment of her own. She stated, "At some point, you should stop saying stuff like this, because I'm not going to think you're saying it in a funny/joking way, and it's going to feel mean." And of course, we escalated from here. So how did the lovely people of Simp Station respond? Well, it started with some bickering per usual. Alex became the first one to use the word targeting, although technically targeted, but, you know, it's targeting. Wyatt came in to explain how a general comment applied to only one person. But then we totally worked to resolve the situation. Right? Right, you guys? You guys, right? Banglewood stated, "At the best Beans, sorry you are salty that you haven't won a game. You will be one of those teams. That's targeted. Lol." Sorry, the writer wrote in a laugh in the script. I swear, he wrote in a "Hello, Bueller." Instead of conflict resolution, Alex decided to roast Beans to oblivion and escalate. Because why the fuck not? Wait, is that it? Like, I remember this shit being so fucking stupid, but it's like way worse in my head. When I actually read it, it doesn't seem like that bad. I mean, it's bad, but it is pretty brief. How did this blow up so much? It became a huge meme. God damn. Fuck. Wait, did he leave something out of the script? Is there more here? Am I missing something? What is going on? I feel like we're missing something. There's got to be something that happened after this, right? Let me call the writer. Am I reading this incorrectly? Let me call the writer. Hold on. Hey, Chief, how's it going? Yeah, good. How about you? Great. You on the golf course? Nice. Hitting the links, man. Awesome. Hey, I got a question for you. So, this instant, was it really just over right here? I feel like we missed something. No, it just lasted a little bit and then was pretty much done. Yeah, interesting. What, really? Oh, that's pretty funny. You guys, he said when he was writing this, there was an ad mentioning targeting, and now he's triggered. That's pretty funny. Well, Chief, I got to get back to doing this. I appreciate this. Yeah, I'll see you later. All right. Have a good one. Luckily, after that, it seems we actually had the sense to chill the fuck out. Agnos came in to defuse by hyping Deshaun Watson post-accusation. Some things really do never change. Reeves made a joke that for sure did not help to defuse and probably made things worse but didn't, and the vote for 8 teams in the playoffs passed. Nothing to see here. So, what were the ramifications of this fateful day? Besides the creation of a killer meme that prevails to this day with targeting, the actual vote completely changed the history of the league. Since this change, here are the teams that have made finals without being a top 4 seed. Agmills as a 5 seed in Season 1. Banglewood as an 8 seed in Season 1. Beans as a 5 seed in Season 2 with redemption. Biz as a 7 seed in Season 2. 2 champions and 2 runners-up came from the bottom of the bracket. Without this monumental day, the entire history of Simp Station Fantasy would be different. This day also had some less fun ramifications, including leading to the first cheating incident in the league. Because, of course, SimStation would have a cheating incident. God damn it. The famous win trading week where Beans decided to sack a week since her team was struggling in order to help Wyatt. Alright. Well, you know what? We're not here to make fun of anyone from the Discord. Because everyone in this Discord has made this moment great. No matter how ridiculous their actions were on the day. They have created a great meme, and that's what we should remember it as. The meme that has memed. Because this has been a great moment in SimStation Internet Football history. Thanks for watching.